Hey guys, welcome to Slay by Jade's YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment for future content like this. Today we are going to do this pop art glam look that you see here, and I will be doing a voiceover because my son was crying and playing in the background and it was really loud. So if you would like to see this, please stay tuned. Like, subscribe, hit the little bell so that way you'll get notifications of future uploads. Thank you. Okay guys, we're just going to jump right into this tutorial. So here you see me using the Crayon Case Beauty Blender and my Maybelline Fit Me foundation and 365. This is the matte and poreless foundation. My eyebrows are already on because I tried to previously record and my iPad decided it wanted to act up. So this is just me blending out the foundation and taking it down to my neck just to verify it's all over the place and it's just no harsh lines whatsoever. So continue watching and you'll hear me coming in and out. So here I'm using my Makeup Revolution concealer and C13, C13, and I'm covering up my under eye, taking it down the sides of my nose, and a little down the cheek. I wanted more of a dramatic highlight, taking it on my chin, down on the bridge of my nose, and my forehead. And underneath of my contour lines where I want it to be highlighted even more. Here I'm just taking my beauty blender just to blend it all out, starting with the underlines of my contour. Sorry guys, I dropped my beauty blender. And I'm doing the other side as well, and we're just going to blend this out and just make sure there are no harsh lines, make sure everything is fully blended. Guys, remember, blend, blend, blend. That's what we have to do. Sorry if you saw my son in the background. He's watching cartoons, specifically SpongeBob. And we're still blending. You know, this is a tedious process, guys. Tedious. But here you see me taking the back end of my beauty blender just to make sure that the corners of the highlight are blended down and that they're not just sharp or harsh or just sitting there. So, continuing to blend and blend and blend. Okay, time for the next step. Here I'm taking my Black Radiance contour powder and I'm going in with the darkest shade and I'm just going to contour around my sides. I wanted a softer contour. Since we are doing pop art, I just wanted a guideline for where I was going to put my lines. So I'm just taking that and blending that along my cheeks and my forehead. So that is this step, and just blending whatever is left on the beauty blender to fix any of the mistakes I've made. Now continuing with that powder and my Anastasia Beverly Hills blending brush that came with one of my palettes, I'm just contouring my nose, just taking it down the sides of my bridge and up into my eyebrows to kind of give it more of a contoured look. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, remembering to take it up to my eyebrows just so that way it adds more depth to my eyes since I am not doing an eyeshadow look today, and just down the bridge of the sides of my nose. Here I'm taking my Makeup Revolution setting powder in Terracotta, and I'm just setting all the areas that I highlighted and kind of just packing it on and then blending it out a little bit. And then just doing the same thing, like I said, everywhere where I highlighted, making sure to accentuate underneath my eyes just to make them a little bit brighter. And the little brush I am using actually came from my Too Faced Chocolate Contour Palette. The palette is actually very light on my skin. So I'm just using a brush just because it's thinner and I can get into smaller areas with it because of the point of it. Here I'm taking it up the sides of my nose, and then I'm just going to reinforce those contour lines on my nose with the same brush and the remaining powder. And we're just going to dust away this powder just so that way there is no loose powder just sitting on my face. Here I'm just going in with my Wet n Wild liquid eyeliner. It's the H2O1. Sorry guys, I cannot talk. And I'm just creating a wing line for this part here, so that way that is all I am doing to my eyes, is just a simple wing liner, and that will be all. I'm just going to repeat the same thing on the other side, just creating that wing so that way they are both even and leveled. I know I look crazy by doing it while not using a mirror and more so just using the camera. But they came out okay, so I was actually pretty shocked. Normally I have a problem with wing liners. So we're just going to take this across the eye, just give it the exact thickness as the other eye. And then I'm just going in and just filling in that eyeliner so that way it's nice and thick and it's fully black. Now while I still have that eyeliner in my hand, I'm going to actually start to carve out my jaw and my contour area that I contoured, as well as adding in some shadow depth of the little lines that you see so you can kind of see the jaw part more. And I'm just going to take that down the curve of my cheek. Sorry guys, I am tongue-tied tonight. And I'm just going to make it thicker so that way you can see it more and it's more accentuated, and just trying to straighten out those lines a little bit. Now here you see me actually taking it down to my jaw. That way I can add more of a sharper type of jaw like you would see in a comic, where it's still soft like a woman's, but it's relatively thick still. I'm going to actually take this around the border of this one side of my face, so that way half of my face is contoured with the eyeliner and the other half is more of a soft natural glam. Here you actually see me actually creating the depth lines, like the scratches, so that way you can kind of see where the contour lines are going to go and where I have already contoured my face. Here I'm just perfecting the forehead, just making sure I get it the way I want it. And then I am taking that same liquid eyeliner from Wet n Wild, and I'm actually going to do the sides of one side of my nose. I'm doing my Cupid's bow. Just kind of add more of a depth to it, and just kind of counter shadowing with the gel liner and under my lip to kind of add more like a pout. And then I'm going to go back in and I'm actually going to continue adding those, I guess you can say, depth lines. I don't know exactly what they're called. Just kind of adding their placement and adding a little bit more to them, which you'll see later. I'll go in later with shadow just to kind of deepen those lines up a little bit. Here I'm just going to outline my lips. I'm actually overdrawing my lips a little bit so that way I can get that kind of full lip that you usually see in comics. I'm just tracing around the bottom of my lip, and then I'm going to do the same thing to the top, kind of exaggerating my cupid's bow on this point here. So just bear with me here. I know it's a process, but I promise it will all work out in the end. So I'm just making sure the line is actually really thick so that way you can see it. So when I put on my lipstick, you can actually see it. Again, this is the Wet n Wild H2O liquid eyeliner. And here, as you see, I'm just looking for my NYX white liner so that way I can do the highlights to the face with the white liner, so that way you can kind of see them just a little bit more. Even though I will be making white dots on my face, I still kind of wanted more of a white line, just to kind of, so you can really see those highlighted points. So I'm taking it along my cupid's bow, on my chin, the bridge of my nose, under my eye. And I'm just sticking to just one side of this look. Is more so pop art. And we're off to the next step. Here I'm actually taking my Wet n Wild body paint that I got last year for Halloween, and I'm just adding on some white dots just for more of that color. I mean, not that color, that comic book type look, you know, with the polka dots on the face. So that's what I'm currently doing here, and I'm just going to do this all on this one side of my face, trying to get them as symmetrical as possible, since, as you know, in comic books they are usually very leveled right next to each other, and they usually in lines and everything like that. So I'm just making sure, it's all in a line, it's nice and white, it's really there, it's showing up. Because this stuff, once it mixes with everything else, it kind of turns whatever color it's on. So on certain ones, it's actually mixing in with my foundation. And here I'm going to take my MAC Retro Matte Lip Color. You guys don't even get me to saying that wrong. But this is, I believe it's called Living in Lavish or Living in Luxury, and which is a really pretty pink. You know, pop art usually have pink lips or red lips. I chose to do it pink today. So I'm just filling in my lip around, well, in between where I actually added the liquid eyeliner as that lip outline. Here I'm just adding on some mascara. This is the mini travel size of the Maybelline Better Lash, or Great Lash, I believe it is. And I'm just going to pack on some beauty store eyelashes. They were the biggest ones I had. So I'm just going to put those on, and I'm going to add on the white lines in a dot around my lips while the eyelash is actually in the process of drying right now. So that way it kind of gives it more of a highlighted type of look. Here I'm just putting those lashes on. Like I said, they're from my local beauty supply store. They're nothing fancy. They were just the longest, thinnest type of lashes I had that would just make this look really pop. Since usually the eyelashes in pop art or comic books are very dramatic. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just putting these lashes on here. The one on my left side I kind of had some difficulties with, as you guys will see. So just stay tuned. And I'm using my Duo Lash Glue. It's actually a strip adhesive. And here I'm just going back in with the black while that glue is drying, just to put it on my inner parts of my lip to kind of add more of a depth to my lips so it looks more comic book like. And here I'm just taking a small brush. This is my Morphe brush, and I'm just going to go into my Kat Von D palette, the Interstellar palette, and I'm just picking up that beautiful black, and I'm just shading in the contoured areas just so that way they look a little bit more in depth. So I'm just taking it into the corners and along the sides just to kind of give it some more definition because I felt like it wasn't enough. And I'm also taking that black and I'm going to underline my eyes. I felt like the eyes were too simple, so here I am taking that black and I am going underneath my eyes along my waterline with that black, and I'm just smoking it out. And then here I'm taking that white body paint again, and I'm actually just going to tight line my waterline with that white. So that way it kind of gives more of that baby doll appearance. You know, that kind of wide-eyed appearance. I'm just doing that, and I'm actually taking it a little bit down into my corners. So on the sides of my eyes. So it's not exactly in my eyes. Here I am adding the finishing touches to the look. I'm just darkening the under eye and I'm going to retouch up the white. At the end of this video will be a short little video of my looks, of me posing. So please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little bell so that way you'll be notified of any future uploads. Sorry. Thank you.